NSD Swirly News Style. Welcome to a new tutorial from Andy Pants here for National Scrapbook Day, brought to you by swirlydoos.com. Inspiring your obsession, and yes, we are obsessed. Today we are obsessed with canvas. We're going to make a great canvas from that photo that is posted to the forum. Go ahead and check it out. Adorable photo, great colors. Got to give props to Pink Paisley Photography down in Tennessee. She does a fantastic job and she posts her stuff to her blog, so check her out. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use the Oceana paint, and we're going to paint randomly on our canvas. Okay, and the next step that we're going to do, we're going to take some StazOn ink and we're going to stamp all over this. You're going to want to use StazOn ink because we're using all of these water-based products, and if you use a water-based ink like a distress ink, it's going to smear your ink. StazOn is an alcohol-based ink, so it won't smear when it's wet. Okay, now all that's drying, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make sure we mix up our pink grapefruit really, really good. And what we're going to do is we're going to be painting, this is a glaze, so it has kind of a transparent property to it. And you'll be able to see this stamping through the glaze. And we're going to get the areas that are still white kind of randomly in just the undone areas of the canvas. And now before we dry this, we're going to add just a little bit of shimmer to the blue. I'm going to use the patina color, and this is just going to be, remember, this is all going to be in the background. There we go. And then just spray. Okay, for the next part of this technique, we're going to be using gesso. We are going to use a mask. I am going to use this 12 by 12 Prima mask. It's the Prima mask with the flowers. I do believe that this one is discontinued, but any 12 by 12 mask that you have will do. Go ahead and get your mask positioned where you want it. I'm going to throw just a little bit of adhesive on the back of mine. Just to keep it from shifting while I do this. Okay, now we're going to take our modeling paste, and I'm going to go over a couple areas just because I really like the flowers and I really like the swirls and I want them to pop. Personally, I like to use a little dollar store spatula to spread. These things are the bomb. And look at that, it's like butter, just like butter. And I'm going to go back over the area in the center with just a tad bit more gesso here and there. Okay, so now I'm kind of looking at this and I'm kind of deciding that I'm wanting it to be a little bit more shabby. I really want that whitewashed look. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add a whole another layer of gesso, and what I'm hoping to accomplish is that the parts that have the modeling paste and the parts that have the gesso will be more white, and then the parts that have the flowers and the swirls will pop through and just kind of give us a shadow. Okay, so now that we have this and it's all nice and dry, I went and gathered my things to do my assemblage while this was finishing drying. It's time to assemble. I have a general idea of what I want to do, but I'm not quite there yet, so you get to see me in action creating. A little bit about what I've got. I grabbed some more silks glazes, this one in Carmen. We haven't gotten this color in our kit at all. It's a bright red. If you want to use any red paint, I'm just looking to pick up those little poppies that are all over her bathing suit in the photo. I really, really like the red with it. I thought that I would use some little pink seed beads. So I got some of those, some tissue tape, the kind with the butterflies, kind of give it that nature feel. And then I picked a lot of stuff out of the April kit because I felt that the April kit had that shabby look that I was going for with the photo anyways. So I have the wood pieces from the April kit and the string of pearls from the April kit. I did pick out one of the flowers. The rest are just little flowers from my stash. The flourish from Blue Fern Studios. And then I did just do a couple of things from my stash. This is actually a piece of a shipping box. Swirly Doos kit. No lie. Right here. Dollar store doily. Always fantastic. I've also got some of the Donna Salazar banners. And actually, I used the packaging from the Blue Fern Studios and cut out a banner using one of the Donna Salazar pieces as a template. I grabbed a Donna Salazar swirl that has gotten stuck to one of my resin pieces. The light pink color. And I chose a resin piece that just happened to be kind of sitting here beside my desk from use the other day, but I think this was from the inspiration kit quite a bit ago. The pearls from the kit, this little wood button that says love. I figured I'll use some of that too. Going to use, I think I'm going to use this stencil. It's got the dots. Really enjoy this stencil. I'm going to try doing the red in the dots. And haven't decided yet. Loving this damask stencil. Don't quite know. So I kind of have some things here at my fingertips to kind of play with. See if I want to use them. Don't really know if I want to use them, but let's get moving now that you've kind of seen what I've got going. I've already fussy cut my photo. Adorable kids. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use that. So the tissue tape really gave me fits. It just doesn't want to stick. If it doesn't want to stick, go ahead and use some adhesive underneath of it. I was using the scrappy glue because it kind of gives it a harder texture. But even if it's still not sticking, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to use some matte medium over top of it, and that matte medium will really make that tissue tape stick down. It's what I like to use on my doilies. That's fun. I like that. Yeah, I do. So while that dries, we got a couple of pieces that we need to kind of give a little bit of treatment to. All right, this corrugated cardboard. Piece that I want to gesso is this, because I'm going to do this in that pink grapefruit so that it really stands through, and I want the pink grapefruit to be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? I really want it to show, and on this dark chipboard it just would not happen. So the way to get around that is you cover your pieces with gesso first. I just recently picked up an order of dilution sprays. This is cut grass. I'm going to try using this on some of those wood pieces. I might have to gesso them first, but I'm going to see how they turn out both ways. Wow. Those are really bright. They look fantastic. Okay. So let's do a couple of little leafy pieces. So that's it for our embellies, and they're going to dry. Now we need to use our distressing tool and distress our Donna Salazar banner pieces. Earlier when I said that we would be hitting that tissue tape with the big guns, well, it's time for those big guns. Matte medium is a really fantastic adhesive for things like material. It's not uber sticky, it's not gummy, but it seals it in. Because I have the red here and it's water-based, the matte medium is water-based, it's gonna make it smear. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to put the matte medium on my doily instead and lay my doily down on top of the red. Okay, so now I'm just starting to assemble my collage, starting with the bigger pieces and then getting smaller as I work my way in, just using my regular adhesive. By this time, it's already very late at night, and I was getting ready to turn into a pumpkin, so you'll notice an outfit change here in a minute, and that's because this was completed on 2 separate days. Okay, so here we are to finish the assemblage. I've gone ahead and I've added the string of pearls. What I did was just took a thumbtack and attached it to the top. I just pushed it into the wood and I used one of my beading pieces. For the tags, I've just added a jump ring and then just attached them to the pearls. I'm not real big into the banner thing, so I kind of wanted to do something different with my banner. And then I went ahead and made flowers, just with flowers from my stash. I just assembled some paper flowers with the mulberry. Some I did some spray. This is the sponge sugar distress stain. And then these are the fabric flowers. They're actually made from a skirt. There's a tutorial on my blog if you would like to see how to make those. But I went ahead and assembled these things, put the pearls in the center of this one. Because you didn't need to see me making flowers. You can look up the tutorials for that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and attach the seed beads. Kind of trying to decide where on here that I would like to put them. Not quite sure yet.
I'm going to go ahead and use Heidi Swapp's scrappy glue for this because it tends to dry pretty quickly and it hardens real good, so it'll hold the beads. So we're just going to randomly apply the seed beads all over the canvas. I would kind of like to come out from the center of the canvas and maybe kind of try to highlight some of these swirls that are in here. And there you have the completed canvas based on my take, based on the picture that I found online. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. I hope that you learned some sort of new technique and how to use something that you've never used before.